Opponent has Omnath of their own, and it looks like they're going to be able to use Omnath better than we are. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. We are going to be playing some Magic the Gathering Arena, as always, and darn it, it's been quite some time since we've had a good time with Elementals here on the channel. So I figured, what the heck? Let's pull it out and see if we can get some wins with it. This is a version that we're looking to take advantage of, you know, a bunch of land drops with, of course. So Risen Reef, mainstay of Elementals, and honestly the reason we want to play the deck, right? But then we've also got Glasspool Mimics, hopefully to be copying it, and Tangled Florahedrons, Leafkin Druids, and Healer of the Glades to be triggering it. But then the power of the deck is hopefully just making a million land drops and Scute Swarming just to beat the band, right? It's the hope. Anyway, as far as things assisting with that, we've got the Omnath Locus Creation. This card was just broken in half in standard, folks, until it was banned. Admittedly, part of that was just because it was a brand new rotation and the format was brand new, so it was as small as it was. The format was as small as it was ever going to be, and this card was just the most powerful thing going on in it. But it was crazy. That said, we're an Explorer, and it just hasn't made any waves at all. Honestly, I think we're going to be playing this deck, and it's going to be a little bit silly and have a good time. Hopefully, we can also get some wins with it. As far as the rest of it, you know, some Genesis Ultimatum, some Escape the Wilds, some value Elementals, and hopefully a good time. So without further ado, let's get to some games, shall we? All right, folks, here we are up against Toxie. Good luck, Toxie. And yeah, I think we're going to keep it. Possibly take backwards. Maybe it's not Toxie. I don't know. What we do know is that we're going to start on Ketria Triome and pass the turn right on back. Our opponent started on Roadside Reliquary, which is odd. Draw a card if you control an artifact. Draw a card if you have an enchantment. So it's kind of a land that can be a divination under the right circumstances. Color me intrigued, but we're going to go ahead and lead on Leafkin Druid here, trying to ramp into not just Omnath Locus Creation, but also our Escape to the Wilds and Chandras and things showing up soon as well. Palladium here going to join the party. And opponent passing the turn right on back. Hey, interesting. Yeah, I don't think this is one of the... Normally, folks, you don't want to run out your Omnath unless... you know you can follow it up with a land drop, things like that, because a lot of the time Explorer is going to be very, very fast as a format, like to attack you. You know, lower your life total as quickly as possible, sort of thing. But yeah, this does not seem to be the sort of match where Omnath is going to be the most important thing, right? As far as the life gain part. So I guess let's go ahead and Fabled Passage and crack it for a red mana. Gives us a bunch of red mana. The question is, are we supposed to Chandra here or Escape to the Wilds? Our opponent's gonna have a million mana. I am worried about that. Let's do this though. Interesting. Okay, this is better. Okay, I think this is better. Because they're gonna have a lot of mana, no doubt, but we also need to be able to execute our game plan, right? Whoa. What are you doing with that mana, opponent? That is definitely questionable. All right, counter goes on. Omnath hits our opponent. We're gonna go to combat here. Opponent takes it right on the chin, down to 12. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not, folks. They do know that Chandra's on the way, right? Okay, Portable Hole gets our Leafkin Druid. We're not strictly thrilled about that, but yeah, I guess we've got to spew off the land drop if we want to be able to cast Chandra, which I think we do. I think Chandra's just too good to pass up here. Yeah, go ahead, go down. Sweep the board just a bit. Crash in for 9. Our opponent on 3. And yep, says that's enough. GG. GG indeed. All right, folks, here we are up against Oreo Sneaky. Good luck, Oreo Sneaky. And yeah, I think we're going to keep this. It's always a little awkward when it's like Shotgun Healer of the Glaive. No. That can't be right. That doesn't make any sense. And I don't think it does here either. So I think we're just going to Tangle Florahedron tap, pass the turn, see what our opponent has to say. Plan on Leafkin Druiding the following turn. Interesting. Our opponent on Xander's Lounge and Concealed Courtyard here. Doing at least 4 color themselves, possibly a 5 color list. And they pass the turn. Interesting. Well, Breeding Pool, untapped, Leafkin Druid, go. Opponent has Fatal Push. You got it. Oreo Sneaky goes for Spire Bluff Canal and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Well, these things are interesting. We're going to go ahead and just deploy a Jetmir's Garden. Always a tapped land here. Pop down a Healer of the Glade just so that we have something to do with our turn. And we really don't know what our opponent's doing yet. Oh, is this just Parhelion? Well, you know. At least they're not killing us on turn 3 with it. All right, and Chandra Torch Defiance showing up. You've got it. Opponent goes up. Gets Fable the Mirror Breaker, which of course hits our face. So yeah, just pay, I guess. Omnath. Going to hit the Chandra. Healer of the Glade going to hit the Chandra. And your go, Oreo Sneaky. Your go. Fabled Mirror Breaker flipping back over. Summoning Sickness, of course, affecting the reflection of Kiki-Jiki here. Opponent goes up for mana. 5 mana available. What have you got? Thirst for Knowledge. Drawing 3, discarding 2. Unless an artifact is among them, they discard a second Parhelion as if they needed more in the bin. And Oreo Sneaky, just 2 mana available. Going to suicide that. Shaman, no, they have the Watery Grave. Thoughtseize going to hit our hand. They take our Glass Pool Mimic. Yuck. All of this feels bad, folks. All of it. So, yeah. Jetmir's Garden. Putting a counter over here on the Healer of the Glaive. And interesting. Yeah, I think we're just going to go with this Yorion Sky Nomad to hand, pass the turn. I'm worried that we're just going to pass the turn right back and die, honestly. I'm not thrilled about that, but, well, yeah. Actually, if they want to double block the Omnath, I guess that's okay. I'm still worried about dying, but we don't want them to have an extra draw if we can help it. Wow, they're just going to chump block. Okay. That is surprising to me. Oh, it's because they have a Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, well, these things are unfortunate. Oreo Sneaky. Goes up, gets Tainted Indulgence off the top, and has Bone Crusher Giant come out? They do. Interesting. All right, opponent. They know about the Chandra, and they Thoughtseize. They could have gotten the Chandra. Rafine's Tower shows up. So they're actually on 5 color Parhelion. Wild. Would not have expected that. Just have a Fatal Push, opponent. What are they doing? They must have another fatal push. It's got to be. Or they're just trying to bluff and they've got nothing and it's just a reflection of Kiki Jiki that keeps giving them priority. But they're definitely dwelling on it. So it also could be they're just not very attentive, you know? Yeah, I think we still got to do this. As much as we would like to deploy Omnath and then be able to also, you know, have it followed up with the fetch land. I don't want them disrupting what we're up to here. And I kind of want to see what their planned answer is to what's going on. They've got, you know, things to do. Surely they've got things to do. And if they don't, we sweep all of their stuff away and we get their Chandra. Okay, so it was fatal push. Okay. All right, Oreo Sneaky. Going up with Chandra Torch Defiance. Ah, but not yet. Apparently it's Tainted Indulgence first. Discards a third Parhelion. Okay. Opponent. Scoops it up. What on earth, folks? I think it's quite clear that this list is trying to do something else. And whatever it is, it's not doing it. They're definitely reanimating the Parhelion. They've definitely got that plan. Otherwise, they wouldn't be Thirst for Knowledging, Fable and Mirror Breaking into Parhelion. I'm just not sure what it is exactly they are doing. Besides losing. Because they're definitely doing that part, you know? So, whatever. We got you, Oreo Sneaky. We got you. GG. All right, folks. We are up against Raz Karsi. Good luck, Raz Karsi. Yeah, we're going to keep this. And, going to start on, I guess... It is just going to be the Fabled Passage. It's always rough having to start there. You don't really want to do that, and it makes it even worse if you're trying to you know, figure out what lands to get for your Omnath, and it's just like, you know, it could end up being a situation where you want any of these things, you know. Well, we are going to Risen Reef, though. I can tell you that. We're happy to see that breeding pool. Yes, take the action. Jetmir's Garden to the battlefield. Don't mind if I do. That is great news. Really would like our Risen Reef to survive. The good news is that our opponent is unlikely to kill it. Does have Wild Growth Walker into Paradise Druid show up. Good heavens. I'm definitely surprised to see that. Opponent, likely expecting this outcome. We do have Omnath Locus of Creation doing its thing. So we're just going to go ahead and Ketria Triome, make a bunch of mana, Glass Pool Mimic, and Raz Karsi doesn't like the look of this. Scooping him up. GG, Raz Karsi. GG. All right, folks, we are up against Tuna Hot Pockets. Good luck, Tuna Hot Pockets. And yeah, I guess we can keep this a hand that looks like this here. We're not strictly thrilled about it because we don't do anything for ages. And once we do, Scute Swarm, we're not exactly happy about it, you know? But whatever. It is what it is. Definitely going to try and scoot a bit if we can. Is the primary game plan. Our opponent, though, on very, very beautiful sleeves here. Breeding Pool into Llanowar Elves. All right, well, Stomping Ground, join the party. Cultivate. Well, folks, we started on the play, but our opponent has successfully recaptured that momentum. Unfortunately. Is what it is. So we're just going to go ahead and deploy our Scute Swarm so we can actually play the game. So far, we are not really playing the game. and that is not ideal. Just, I think our chances of winning this are ridiculously small. Anytime you don't do anything until turn 3, it's like, you know, unrealistic to expect a win, you know? But we are going to play, obviously. We're going to try and do things. Omnath, Locus of the Roil. Wow. Way to make a fool of me, Tuna Hot Pockets. I'm sitting here saying, you know, I think our chances of victory are quite small. And our opponent's like, oh, you cast a 3-3. I can't beat that. Whatever, opponent. GG. All right, folks, here we are up against Sug 227. Good luck, Sug 227. We're going to try and keep this hand. We're not doing anything for a long time again. But hey, worked out for us last time. So, you know, what do you do? What do you do? Spire's Headquarters, go. Opponent went Swamp Knight of the Ebon Legion, which is definitely a scary start. Knight of the Ebon Legion, one of the most powerful 1-drops in the client. I'm not thrilled about shocking in when we know our opponent is almost certainly holding up removal, and they're obviously trying to pressure our life total. Whenever you're starting on an aggressive 1-drop, you want to pressure the opponent's life total, right? So taking a good chunk out of our own life total is not ideal, but... Oh, please sacrifice that Knight of the Ebon Legion. Sacrifice the Knight of the Ebon Legion. No. Okay. Opponent has Henrika Dominathi. Not ideal. Yeah. All right. Draws a card, loses life. Knight of the Ebon Legion gets in. We're going to play our land and Risen Reef. I guess maybe it was supposed to be World Tree there because we could have just tapped this, but I'm afraid we might have to chump block this turn, but I guess we can't really chump block Tangleflor Hedron if we want to Omnath, because we want to be able to Omnath and then World Tree. Or I'm sorry, and then Fabled Passage right afterward. And you know, none of this is great. Yeah, all of this is bad. All right, no blocks. Down to 11. Did not pump, notably. So what have you got going on there, Sug 227? What have you got going on there? This is scary. It's another Sorin. Okay. Are you gonna sacrifice the Knight of the Ebon Legion? No. It's another vampire into play. It's a Champion of Dusk. 3 cards get drawn. Opponent goes to 21. Okay. Oh no. Folks, this isn't Jetmir's Garden. It's Spara's Headquarters. We can't Omnath before Fabled Passage. Darn it! So I guess, does that mean we even bother? I guess we're just gonna Risen Reef. I think we've got to try and take over the game with card advantage here. Because we're gonna have to chump all of these cards away. Right? So, just gotta get enough things onto the battlefield that it doesn't matter so much that we have to chump. I guess we only have to chump with just the 2 of them. We can keep 1 Risen Reef around. I think we do have to chump with both, though. Sanctum Seeker. Oh, crud. Is chumping with both enough anymore? I don't think so, because they're going to pump the Henrika. attack with 3. I don't think we can just win next turn. And I don't think we can gain enough life. And maybe. I don't know. It's not looking good. I can tell you that right now. So we block, pray. Okay, we get Chandra, but that's just not good enough. So, Omnath. Yep, Risen Reef. Land. No, not land. While Genesis Ultimatum is good, that is definitely a card that we'll likely need to be casting. Fabled Passage, go and dig up a... I guess a mountain. Add a bunch of stuff. Genesis Ultimatum. I don't think this is gonna do it, but darn it, you know. All right. Opponent gets pinged. Sorin goes away. We do get a Scute Swarm, which is good news. We don't have another land drop, which is less good. But we can at least minus X equals 5, get rid of the Henrika. No attacks. And chump block a bunch again. And the Sanctum Seeker shouldn't kill us. Yet. We'll see, though. At 8 life, losing, if they just swing with all 3 of those. 5 is a very, very attainable life total that our opponent could get us with. All right, Haunt of Hightower comes down. This is not ideal for us, no doubt. If they go after Chandra, we allow it. We absolutely allow it. Yeah, I didn't think so. No Sanctum Seeker attack. Wow. That is wild. I am surprised by that for sure. All right, we do trade because this one's, you know, we've got to follow up anyway, and with the Genesis Ultimatum, we've got things we can do. Well, let's, I guess, negative one. Omnath goes away. Omnath comes down. Risen Reef goes off. I don't think it makes any sense to do anything other than this here. Haunt of Hightower going away. Maybe? Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Why is that not going away? That is terrifying. And then we're just gonna Omnath, gain a little bit of life, which is very important, and also very importantly, get a Scute Swarm token going. No attacks. Getting out of range of that Sanctum Seeker is very, very important. Also notable that our opponents spent 2 of their Sorins. These are the best cards in their library, or typically, you know, the Sorins are just the best card. But this is a very heavy hitting style vampire list with 5 drops and 6 drops and stuff, so that might not be true of this list. It might just be another card, right? And our opponent does have lots of cards to hang out with here, so opponents, 4 mana still floating, goes with Gray Merchant. X equals 7, but that does not kill us yet. And they can't attack with the Sanctum Seeker because we just eat it with Omnath. Okay, I'm really surprised to see this because that's a zombie, not a vampire. And this definitely appeared to be Vampire Tribal. But okay. I mean, we're not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. So land, or Scute Swarm. Genesis Ultimatum. All the things. Yep. Both Omnathas show up, right? Not strictly thrilled about all that. We go to 6. We go to 10. Yep. We get more triggers. Yep. Opponent takes a bit of damage. Risen Reef doing its thing, sure. Yep. We get a whole mess of dudes. That said, how about another Genesis Ultimatum? Actually, that was wrong. Yeah, I was going to say, we should have activated our Chandra first. Because we might get another Chandra, and in fact, we did. Yep. It's okay, though. We're going to gain a bunch of life back. We get a Risen Reef to hand. We get a land of the battlefield tapped. We make a bunch more Scutes. Yep. Our opponent might be thinking about conceding here shortly. Because this is a lot. But they also just might have another Gray Merchant. And they're like, you know, this is... all of this is fine. I'm just going to kill you or whatever, you know? So... I think we do have to get rid of Sanctum Seeker. We draw into another Glasspool Mimic. We draw into a Healer of the Glade. That's very, very good. Okay. Yep. We get a Healer of the Glade. I didn't see that one either. Okay, this is fantastic. Yes. We're going to get a few more triggers. To the battlefield. Yep. I don't think our opponent's overly happy about this. But it's also strongly possible that the servers are just struggling now. I know Scute Swarms have been giving the server just really, really difficult time for ages now. And they now is likely no different. Yeah. All these things happen. Yep. All of them. I think if it is another land, we will just put it in our hand. I don't think we need more of that. We do need to gain the life. I think we will just go up. And then... yeah. I think we're going to spew off the mana. No attacks. End the turn, discarding a land, and a land. Chandra pings our opponent's face. If they have 2 more Gray Merchants, they've kind of earned this one. And we're absolutely willing to give it to them. You know? But we are on 16 now. So 1 Gray Merchant would be 9 damage. And then swinging with the extra 4, which we, of course, just kill everything, would do more, right? That we would go from 9 all the way up to 13, but we're still at a relatively healthy life total, and they've only got 1 card to work with. So it's not likely that between this card and the next top card, they're both Gray Merchant. But it could be. It absolutely could be. I guess if it was another Sanctum Seeker, that would also be not ideal. But just a well, one of them was a land. So just another Sanctum Seeker, not good enough. Just another Gray Merchant, not good enough. They'll have to have something else, like maybe Torment of Hailfire, perhaps? Even then, does that say... that gives us the option to sacrifice things, right? And we have a lot of Scute Swarms to sacrifice. Okay, Sorin. That is a good one. Opponent just gonna pump. Yeah, that's not gonna be good enough, though. Yep. And does a bit of pumping. Gonna do a bit more pumping. Opponent going to give it lifelink. But not going to be good enough here. So I do believe this is us claiming the victory. Our opponent, they may not even realize that this is 156. It is not 15 or whatever. It's 156. So I don't think they have an out here. Yeah, they're very clearly trying to scoot as much damage as possible. They're hoping maybe we just let a bunch of it through. We're not going to do that. There's no way about that. Chump block everything. Our opponent sacrifices a creature with Sorin. Concedes. The third Sorin was a very good draw for them in the abstract. Like, that is definitely one of the cards you want off the top of your library as often as possible. Just the problem is, you know, not after your opponent makes 156 Scute Swarms, you know? So we take our 3. The opponent's Knight of the Ebon Legion grows. They don't concede. We do. Okay, they do concede. All right, so we go into attacks. We weren't going to BM and do a bunch of stuff. We were just going to attack, but GG, Sug, GG. All right, folks, we are up against Baronco. Good luck, Baronco. And yeah, even I'm not this greedy, folks. I think we have 3 5-drops in the deck, and we have all of them. So we're gonna send that back. No, I guess that's not true. We have 2 of the Escape to the Wilds as well. But yeah, I think this hand is better. Still a little bit questionable, I think, but you know, what do you do? What do you do? Ketria Triome, join the party, go on ahead. Opponent goes with Spara's Headquarters. This is the Bant one, folks. And Jetmir's Garden. Oh, boy. Well, since we didn't draw a conventional land, we are just going to go ahead, Healer the Glade, and plan on Rockfall Vale. I see. And a Scute Swarm. All right. So this stinks, folks. Our opponent's going to be living that adventure dream, and we don't have any way of stopping them. I am terrified what our opponent's about to be doing. Opponent has the Lucky Clover. Beanstalks a bit. Beanstalks a bit more. This one's going to be a red land. My best guess. And then there's going to be a Bone Crusher Giant. Folks, we're in trouble. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They had the double Beanstalk Giant hand. This is silly. Oh no. Yeah. Let's get our value. While they can't respond to it. And crashing for 2. Just a Brazen Borrower, huh? That's not so bad. We're actually not disappointed by this at all. So we are going to crack, though. Go after a white mana, please. Thank you. And make our free 1/1. But, you know, we don't mind Brazen Borrow the Scute Swarm back. We did not want our opponent to Bone Crush it away. So it allowed us to be mana efficient while not getting completely run over, you know? Oh, boy, our opponent... Opponent has Omnath of their own, and it looks like they're going to be able to use Omnath better than we are. Unfortunately. Opponent goes with Nom 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 Nom. And draws a card. Makes a land drop. Gains some life. Hey, that's a good one. We just don't have... Ugh. We don't have enough elementals. We can't kill that Omnath. So counter. Fabled Passage, get cracked. Get another counter. And add Yorion to hand, I guess. No attacks. But now at least Healer the Glade and the 1/1 can tag team the Omnath. The deal is, all these Brazen Borrowers over here, there's a Brazen Borrower, there's a Fey Wishes. We know they're gonna be spending them. You got us, Barranco. You got us. GG. GG. All right, folks, here we are up against tie 17. Good luck, tie 17. Yeah, I think this hand is keepable. One of those times where we're not going to run out the Healer of the Glade right now. Oftentimes, this is primarily here for two reasons. To give us a game against like mono red and stuff like that. You see a lot of that in Explorer, but also as a way of triggering our Risen Reefs, right? That's the card I'm playing this deck for, is Risen Reef, and we want to get a bunch of Risen Reef triggers, right? Our opponent's playing a little rogue action, and they are going to be milling us. They send over a Tangle Florahedron in our forest. The good news is we're on Yorion. The bad news is, I was just talking about how we want to be drawing a million cards and doing all that kind of stuff. Well, you know, when we draw 20 cards, that really helps our opponent's mill plan, you know? So we'll see on all that. We are going to start... No! Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say, hold on. Did that mistap me? But it didn't. Everything's fine. Risen Reef triggers. Risen Reef going to trigger again. We drew into a Leafkin Druid. We did not draw into a land, but good heavens. We're definitely glad we got those ones out of the way. We will... we will need land drops, folks. Believe it or not. If we're going to win this game, we will eventually need land drops. So opponent makes land drop of their own. Ruined Crab mills us over some. Thieves Guild Enforcer going to mill us some more. Then going to attack with it, mill us a few more, and have their Thieves Guild Enforcer online. Probably. Opponent. Is this true? Did we crack the code? Revoke Windrobber. Nope, just gonna mill some more, then attack. Oh, that's fine. Wow, they don't. They really want... They don't want to trade the Risen... Oh, man. They just don't know what Risen Reef is capable of. That's all there is to it there. If they knew, they would be going after it. So, this is awkward. But... I guess we're going to do this just so we can make chump blockers. And we still get our Leafkin Druid because this Leafkin Druid now taps for 2. So we still get Risen Reef triggers. We really want to flip a land here. We really want to flip a land. Drawing a card isn't the end of the world. You know, we want more action as well, but yeah, darn it, we really, really wanted to flip a land. Okay, so that didn't happen. Folks, so far Risen Reef has drawn us 3 cards, and we are pretty thrilled about that. Oh my goodness, 2 more lands go over. Holy crud, look at all the lands they've milled over. Darn it, we need some of these. 3 of our Fabled Passages, good heavens. But we just, darn it, we need to get down to those lands. And if we don't, we're in deep trouble, you know? That said, I think... We wanted to leave the door open to make a bunch of land drops, Scute Swarm, take over the game. It's strongly possible we're just supposed to Chandra next turn and, you know, sweep all of our opponent's stuff, because it is uncounterable. All right. Blastpool Mimic. Counterspell? No. Risen Reef joins the party. tie 17, scooping them up. Apparently, folks, they didn't have any removal. So it was definitely, the order of operations there was very questionable. Were we supposed to go with Omnath first because all of these Risen Reef triggers are really tempting after Omnath, getting a bunch of mana, getting a bunch of, you know, triggers, all kind of thing, you know? Or were we supposed to go with Omnath first, followed up with Risen Reef? And I decided to go this direction because we don't need Omnath to win the game. We don't strictly need 2 Risen Reefs to win the game either, but this is just going to flood our hand with resources or flood the board with resources. If these are both lands, we couldn't be happier. Our Scute Swarm makes another insect and then starts doubling up. We make our land drop, it doubles more. We're on 4 Scute Swarms before the end of the turn, and they clearly didn't have removal. Otherwise, they would have gone after it, right? Okay. If we just live the dream, we get this down, we then slam this afterwards, it doesn't get countered, and then our Scute Swarm just is absolutely off to the races anyway, and it doesn't even matter, right? We can't lose now, right? So I don't know. I think our opponents obviously kept a very aggressive hand. It had to be solid, right? Thieves Guild Enforcers, Ruin Crabs, the Merfolk Wind Robber, and the Soaring Thought Thief, all very, very powerful cards. These are mainstays of our opponent's style deck, but I don't know what these other 3 cards are. I don't know if it's one of those things where our opponents got like big ninjas or something, they're trying to cast the big Zarasans, things like that, or what. But if it's not removal and it wasn't hard counter magic like the Drown on the Locks and stuff, I think our opponent maybe should have considered mulliganing anyway. I don't know. It's also possibly just drew poorly. Who knows? Either way, good game, opponent, good game. All right, folks, we are back. And holy crud, we had a great time. Honestly, this deck just wrecked it. We, you know, we played a lot of games, but we also had to play a lot of games because we just kept winning, right? Our opponents just kept scooping early. They'd see us start going off. They'd be like, man, I don't want any part of this. Admittedly, you would likely get a lot less of that in the ranked queue, and I normally do play our jank in the ranked queue, but I don't see this deck as super competitively viable, you know, as far as like trying to climb the ladder and stuff. I think this is just for fun. I would love to see how you guys feel about it. I know maybe if we got rid of like the Scute Swarms and maybe, you know, maybe went a different direction and looked for you know, a more clean curve, we maybe some more 1-drops, some more 2-drops, some things like that to really just move towards victory in a cohesive manner, maybe. But this deck is for the lulz and for the good times, you know. So maybe if we had been playing in the ranked queue, we would have gotten wrecked really hard and I'd have been all down on it and everything. But honestly, in the play queue, it was fine. It was great. So I would highly encourage it for that at the very least. If you were talking about the ranked queue, yeah, again, I'm not as sold on that. We might want a little more down here on the lower end, and you know, just kind of a clean path to victory that might even involve some interaction. You can tell on this current list we have some Locus of the Roil, some Chandras. That's essentially it. We don't really have any other ways of interacting, you know. We're all in our own game plan and try to win that way. So if you want to win an Explorer, though, you got to be prepared for things like Parhelion and, you know, Mono Red, things like that. And admittedly, the Omnath does gain some life, but only if it survives, you know. And if we're on the draw, we may never even cast it. We may be dead before that happens. So, you know, it is what it is. But I would not discourage anyone from building this if you're just looking to have a good time, because honestly, it was definitely that. So that said, I appreciate everybody who watched. Make sure to leave a like and subscription if you enjoyed it, because that really, really helps the channel. We're really trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, folks. So I will look forward to seeing you all next time.